Hello, it is I again, the Eagle, with more stream. We are back on the Milton Valley Islands. Um, we're just gonna call it Milton Islands at this point, or something. I don't know. Anyways, since the last time I have shown this route, you can see that the scenery has kind of progressed slightly. Um, it's better, right? But it's very far from done. Even this area itself, like I believe I was planning a farmland of some kind over here, but I'm not really sure about that anymore. And I'm probably just gonna do something completely different about that. No idea yet, no idea. Anyways, I'm just gonna be working on this route a little bit on this stream. That's pretty much it. You could theoretically consider it just like a new project, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll finish this. But it's a good thing to have, I suppose. I have no idea how to properly make an American route, and nor do I actually want to have an idea. Well, I say American, but I've already decided to set this in Canada. Which, I mean, hey, it still is America. North America. So, we've got that benefit of the doubt. Anyways, there's a little industry here. This town has been slightly built up and whatnot to make it nicer. Still need to do parked vehicles and whatnot. I've put in a road as well that goes all the way over and across the station here. And then obviously the biggest change is the textures and the trees actually being here and existing and whatnot. So yeah, I've got that kind of fun done here. We're gonna be focusing on this island here. Start a new one. So yeah, it's a little this kind of shape with a little bay in it. I need to check like how's the terrain done here. It's not smooth or anything like that, so that's gonna be the first thing I'll do. I'll fix up the terrain of this island. To not just make it better to work with, but also more realistic. So yeah, just like that. Run it a little bit through with the terrain editing tool. Make the shoreline nice and smooth. Better to work with. I'm gonna extend this base slightly. Because why not? Kind of feel like I want to play around with water more. Have it be more prominent on some of the islands at least. Elevator choose, welcome. You just charted, checked a while ago, but then went away from computer. Yeah, pretty much. Just started with the stream. Been live for 5 minutes. But yeah, working on that American route of mine. I've shown some time ago. You know, the one with the ferry going around. So that's what I'm working on over here. Right. I need to properly figure out what I want the tracks to do here. Coming in over this way. Going across. Mm-hmm. You know what? Yeah, that this could work. Just gonna generally play around with the entire area. I want this to be, well, obviously an industrial branch line, but I want to give it a little bit of a twist or a turn. Because obviously I have this station over here servicing this city, right? And all the industries in here. What I have then is this town with this yard, much bigger yard actually, working for the coal mine or ore mine here, and that other industry there, as well as taking trains out this way. So what I've been thinking about is basically utilizing this yard as like the main shunting area kind of thing, and then just splitting out of from here along this track just into like different industries along the way. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna split off firstly here down this way. Right, turn it around and come down here. Right, and I'm gonna have an industry here. I'm gonna continue on with the train. The tracks can split again over here. Like this, for example. And then do another split over there. And then couple it there. Right? Something like this. Could work. Obviously make the junction nicer. But you know, you get the idea. Play around with the network a little bit. Then this track would continue down this way along the coast. Right? And this one would continue along the bay. Around like that. Then maybe a little tunnel across and boom down this way. Make it a bit more twisty, like that. And then bring it over to bridge the next gap over here. Right? And along this way I can do another junction somewhere. I could do the other way now with a bit of a sharper turn. Have the train just like turn around and go down this way, right? Along this coast. And then maybe work out something over there. Yeah. You get it. just play around with the network and make it fun and interesting to work on. And then another junction could be done going out from here, like there. Make it better slightly, like that. I could do a little siding as well in here. Connect that one there, like this. Yeah, see, that will work. That will work. Alright, recognize it now. I finished my Z3, so now perhaps in next days I can figure out the TCCP and test your route out. I guess these are going to be the most heavily railroaded islands in New England. Yes. When it comes to the TCCP beta of my route, there are several problems that have been reported, obviously, and I am in the bug fixing stage as well. Most of them have been fixed already. For some other ones, I'll obviously need to still do some fixes here and there, but the bulk of it is pretty much fixed. But you know, that version, the fixed version, is still not available on TCCP because I didn't upload it yet. Right? It takes time. I'll do a little straight section here, like that. I'm gonna play around with it now. So I want to adjust the height of the tracks to roughly where I want them to be, so the gradients and stuff like that. And I want them to be relatively smooth in the turns, so gotta be careful. This is going to be... Hello Esther, welcome. Welcome to the stream as well. So it's gonna go up by 2%, up by 1%. No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do up by 2% and 2% again. Now 1%. And now it's gonna be a minus 2. Then it's gonna be minus 0. No, it's gonna be minus 1. This entire section here is gonna be minus 1. Like that. Which means up this way is going to be a 1. Up, shit. No, that's not what I clicked. It's also, that's still not what I clicked. There we go. There, 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 there. Right. Now this will be more interesting because I have this here. I need to click on the start there. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that works. That, and now 2% downhill into a 0% up there. There we go. So you're playing around with the gradients and whatnot, making it more interesting. Anyways, this here can be at 0. Though I am gonna be occasionally doing some slight elevation changes. Here's gonna be minus 2, followed by a 0, followed by a 1, followed by a 2, followed by a 0, 0, 0. I'm gonna do a -2 down this way. This. And then 0 in there. Good. How does this turn look? Wobbly. I like that. It's good. How does this junction look? It seems to be correct in height and whatnot, so that's good. What's the height that I've left on this? 0. Okay. Could play around with that. Absolutely could play around with that. Do 2 on that. I'm gonna do 1 on that. And now I'm gonna do minus, not 4, -1. Yeah, -2. And -1 again. And I'll actually split it here down the middle. And I'm gonna lower it to -2, -2, -1. And it's just gonna be 0. I'm gonna have this entire place be on the height of the same, like that. And up to the bridge here. And now this here, I'm gonna do -1. And just have this entire track slowly descend down to here, and I'm gonna put this at 0. Now the reason why I'm putting these dead end tracks at 0 is so that I can have easier time placing industries there and whatnot, right? So you can see kind of the network, how it's gonna be expanding, webbing out of here, right? So this here is pretty much just a web of rails for the industrial area in here, in this city, with its own station for you to work in. Then you have this yard that does pretty much this entire section here, and then you're gonna have this little siding that will handle this branch in particular. Yeah. You're also from this yard going to be transporting through this ferry onto the other island down there, which is, why the fuck are you this, huh? Thank you for functioning. But anyways, that's gonna be transferred to this island here. That I'll still need to work out somehow. I don't know. And then, of course, the last penis-shaped island over here. Relatively deformed, but still. Okay. Who said math wasn't fun? Yes. Me. I don't like math. It's annoying. It's ugly. It's the reason why I dropped out of college. Anyways. Hello, Hans. Welcome. Welcome to the stream as well. Can my bottle open up properly? Thank you. Relatively thirsty today. That's fun. Anyways, let's work on the terrain in this area. Now, obviously, I want to keep it with the theme of the entire area being more hilly and mountainous and whatnot. So I'm gonna be doing that for this island as well. So yeah, that works for here. Can then play this entire place and make that go up and whatnot. I'm gonna be careful with it. Right, I don't know exactly what type of industry I want yet on this little track here. But I'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, right now I just wanna focus on the terrain here. Get it to be nice and fixated. Could utilize this, maybe put in a little lake and whatnot. Maybe have a little river running through all of this. That could work as well. But yeah, I want this to be a bit more of like a flatter area again on the island. But I obviously need to make it one in the first place. Are the islands going to be connected by road as well? I don't think so. I haven't planned for road connections at all. Even the one road that I have put in already, connecting the first city with the second city, is kind of just like put in place last minute because I already had all the trees placed and stuff like that, and only then I've decided, you know what, this needs a road connection to make it more realistic, to make it better. So I've put that in, but I haven't planned for that in the rest of the route, and doesn't really. What the fuck? Why are you up there? Yeah, whatever. Trains. Don't even know how the fuck I managed to do that. But okay, whatever. Shit happens. So I'm just gonna be playing with the idea that the people are just being moved around the islands by trains or by boats, essentially. Because that kind of works better with my lack of planning. So I'm just gonna stick to that kind of idea. But yeah, I could absolutely do a bit more of like mining operations in here as well on the island in general. But I'll see what I'll make up for this particular piece of land. I want to get some logging, obviously, as well. But yeah, one thing that I absolutely want to check out first is what type of train cars I have placed down for myself to use, and figure out all the commodities and stuff like that that I've got available for me. Play around with this area slightly more. I'm imagining some rocks and cliffs being here. around the tracks and whatnot, so I'll have to play around with that kind of idea here and get that properly figured out. Yeah. Attack of the Junction Levers. Can't wait to see the turntable ferry that goes in a circuitous route around these bays. Alright, chanting signals in the book are fully set up. Nice. Good job, Hans. Agreed. Especially if there is some AI boating in the background. Mm-hmm. Alright, so this here has the potential of being the biggest hill of this island. So I'm going to aim for that. I'm gonna make it the biggest hill of this island. Expand the terrain as much as I can. Right, like that. I should obviously have some kind of town on this island as well. I'm gonna figure out what to do with this. I'm thinking of a cutting. I originally said tunnel, but I think a cutting would be better to build here. Mainly because working with the tunnels that I was working with is quite annoying, and I want to save some of that stuff for later actually. But yeah. Yep, it works. This works so far. Can I ask how you get your videos from Twitch to YouTube? Just download and then upload, or what? You can link your Twitch and your YouTube accounts together in the Twitch settings somewhere, and then you can just directly export the Twitch stream into onto YouTube. You can either have it export as a private video or a public video. I always export it as a private. That way, then set up all the thumbnails and stuff like that on the other day. Set the name, set it into the correct category and stuff like that. And then I schedule it for a release later. But yeah, that's how I do it. I know Sheradice, for example, downloads his videos and then does some edits here and there, I think. But yeah, I don't do that. I just upload the raw stream onto YouTube. And it works. I want this arm of the islands to be quite the contrasting side to the other one. So instead of those hills, I'm just gonna have this kind of like lower hills and fields, more or less. And that's gonna work better here, I think, and allow me to do some more fun stuff with industries and whatnot. Because I still need to, you know, plop in some other industries and figure out everything that I actually get to use. But I know I have some heavier industries to work on, to create. So I kind of want to have the space ready for that. But yeah, I would say that's the terrain for this island. I'm gonna get the bridge for the other one. Is that okay? Start with this. Go. And then cross over. I'm gonna grab the big span. That. Alright. And that does it for this tracks. Okay, just apply for TCP. Got it. Nice. Okay. So, there's that. This is quite a rough terrain, but that's quite nice. I'm gonna still raise it slightly to make like a second peak kind of thing. Yeah, like this. Little gap in there. Another more peaky peak over here. I'll raise it a little bit, gap. And then another bigger peak over here. Like that. And we can call this the 3-peak island. As long as this one is not as tall, it is. Okay, 4-peak island. Could be 5. But yeah. This is quite the nice terrain, actually, gotta say. Quite liking it. So now I'm gonna do my usual for this route, or just gonna stick this strategy for this route and adjust the terrain like that. Okay, and now the most annoying piece of terrain work can start. run this through the middle. Like that. I'm not gonna touch the straight section at the end there, because I wanna play around with it. I'll bring it to this junction for now. Okay, now I've gotta fix this bridge here. I don't know if I've done this on the other bridge. Or how did I do the other bridge? Did I? Okay, so I just did that. That's not what I want to do here though. I'm gonna get a different approach for this one. So there's that. Now, this side over here. It's nice and tall, but I need it lower. Like that. Nice and easy. Setting the terrain to be nicer. Raise that, lower this to make the hill a bit better. I like to tinker around with this sometimes on other routes as well, with just hand, like I'm doing right now. This is the first route where I'm actually just doing all of it by hand. Usually I would just tinker around with it a little bit here and there to make stuff a little bit better, nicer. But I've never really like employed it on a bigger scale for an entire route. Right, this is the first time that I've done that. And depending on the area, it could be easier to use the plateau tool to work with. But that one still gives a little bit of a weird ledge to it. Like you can see the line of where it was used. Whereas if you go with hand, you can kind of avoid it. If you play around with it, you can smooth out the ledge a bit more. I'm not exactly doing that here. I'm not smoothing out the ledge that I get from the plateau tool and from working with just a hand tool on it. Oh, this is gonna be fun. But if I do deem that some of these lines of terrain are too visible, I will touch them up by hand even more to make it better. This here little transition is very fucked when it comes to the terrain. So it needs to be smoothed out better and properly. Needs a lot more tinkering around. Just nice and easy. Little handwork. If you put effort into the project that you're building, this kind of stuff, like, usually people don't see it. But when anyone notices it, it will be stuck in their head. Like, oh my god, they didn't spend time fixing this terrain problem or didn't notice it, and Now I don't know how other route builders work, right? Everyone has their own style of creating routes and whatnot, right? But some of the problems that I've witnessed over the years is just mind-boggling. Like, I'm sorry, but how do you miss this or that particular problem, This very obvious eyesore of a terrain glitch, spike, problem, whatever you want to call it. Or was it deliberate? You know, there's plenty of stuff that's just there, done, doesn't make sense. Obviously, most of them could just be genuine accidents. Most of them could be done on purpose, but all of them are sticking out like a sore thumb. So it's like, do you like not drive through your route? Do you not look at your route? No. Now I understand, like, far away from the tracks, even I don't care about that. But if it's like right next to the railway, next to the place that I'm supposed to be driving through, and if it's done, if I'm supposed to go very slowly through that place as well, I'll obviously notice it. There's more than plenty of such kind of problems out there on different routes, built-in and DLS, DLC, doesn't really matter. Everyone has them, right? Even Inselban has some of those terrain problems here and there, but I deem them far enough from the tracks to not bother you. And the other problems that are like close enough to the tracks, I've already fixed ages ago, before the first release of the route. Let's do this other bridge. I'm gonna do this end of the bridge the same way I want the other bridge to be done. And I'll over that. It's obvious I serve my tune cat energies. That's one of the things that I noticed. I mean, if you give me enough time to spend and drive on a route, I would be able to find more problems, obviously. That's like automatic. The more time you spend testing, the more problems you'll find. Yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, you will be able to fix more of it, make it better, nicer, more complete, you know? Everyone can build a route, but not everyone can make it, realistic. To make it beautiful and realistic, you need time, you need effort, right? Now, obviously, different stages of completion work for different people. Some people are just happy to, have a little empty spot with industries to, service and have fun with. Some other people maybe enjoy long main lines where they don't have to do anything, just sit back and enjoy the train running. The thing with all of it is that, you'll never be able to satisfy everyone, especially if you're making something for the public, right? You will never satisfy the public. But you can make their experience better. They will still say, oh, this could be better, or, that could be. And, fair enough, right? I could have maybe spent a bit more time working on this or that. I could have spent a bit more time, on this, or maybe I've overdone this particular thing and I should have devoted the time and effort onto something else. It's just, I mean, hey, fair point, right? But at the same time, if you're just making it something for yourself to be happy about and think about, and yeah, be done with it whenever you're done with it, right? It's up to you. You are the author, you are the creator in every single case. Yeah? But the moment you want to, start thinking of like, hey, I want to make this specifically for public, for the general people and players out there who might, enjoy it, right? You have to start, when you start thinking that way, you kind of have to also realize that, if some, everything works differently for everyone, right? Nothing is the same, nothing is set in stone. You need to work with that, with what you can, right? The current world is moving in a way that people prefer graphics over the gameplay and stuff like that. At least, like, the general idea. In reality, it's not true at all. You may think that, all the beautiful graphics and everything like that. No. Sure, some people are there for the graphics because it's nice. It makes it easier for them to escape the burden of life and indulge in whatever they like and enjoy. If you make realistic graphics, you can make them feel that, hey, they are no longer in their city, in their town, in their country. You can make them feel that they are somewhere else. Utilize that for your benefit. Or maybe you can go specifically lower graphics, make it a bit more nostalgic, for example. Use only older assets, you know. Build a Trainz 2004 route in Trainz 22. Why not? If it's something that you want, sure, go ahead. But don't be an asshole about it either. Yeah? Because there are plenty of people out there who still use the older versions of the game as well. And they think, oh, this is obviously the greatest version ever because I've played it. Don't be that person. Be better than those people. Recognize that not everything works for everyone. Oh, Jesus Christ, I have never been jump scared by a fucking junction lever. Fuck. I've completely lost my train of thought. I completely forgot the fact that I was streaming as well. I was just here rambling, bambling my thoughts out. See what one junction lever is capable of doing? But yeah. When you're making stuff for the general public, like I am right now, obviously, not it will not work for everyone, right? This is not something that everyone will enjoy doing. Yeah. And that's okay. You can absolutely tailor it to a specific audience, or you can try and tailor it to every audience. But if you tailor it to every audience, you lose something from all of them. So you also have to kind of keep that in mind. Like, do I want this specific audience, or do I want to, involve everyone in this? And sometimes the fact, like, the things that I think about, what I kind of like battle with in my head when making routes, when trying to figure stuff out, you know, like, will people enjoy this? Because I know I will, but for me personally, that opinion is irrelevant. I don't really need the opinion of myself about this or that. You could say that yes, I am seeking the opinion of others, what others think of what I've done, and there are people out there who will tell you, oh, it's not that important, it's important what you think about it. Yes, it's important both, right? It depends on what you think is more important for you. And while I do have some opinion about the stuff that I'm working on, whether I like it or not, I still kind of want the opinion of the people outside. I want to know what they think. Do they consider it's good? Do they consider it's bad? Would they like more or less? Something different? You know, there's plenty of these little things that you can think about. Obviously, you don't have to think about them constantly. Problem is, I do. Because I always try to tailor my routes for public use. I'm not gonna be driving on them myself, really. I am not the type of person to enjoy driving that much in this game. I love the editor more than I love the driving. So for me personally, these kind of thoughts are more important. It's the type of stuff that I think about more than other stuff regarding the route, right? Not to mention that personally, I enjoy more of like the niche kind of stuff, the stuff that's not really done a lot, right? Like Sweater Island, for example. Hey, little narrow gauge route on a fictional island, lots of industries. How many of such routes have been done? How many have been propagated or like advertised? You know, how many of such routes do you know about? Right? And you can get a lot of inspiration from all around the place. Right? Don't be afraid of getting inspiration from other games, real life, some picture that you saw posted on Facebook or Reddit or something. Don't be afraid to go and explore and try what you can create. If you see something nice, give it a go. You may never finish the project, but you can gain valuable experience on how to work with the editor, how to build this or that, how to achieve this look or that look. Because behind every good and successful route, there are hundreds routes that have never been finished, routes that are dead in the water, routes that work as a little storage of different assets that you've located over the years. In the future, when you're making a new route, you can just be like, oh, I remember I used this type of asset 3 years ago on this and that kind of route. Let me load them up, let me find the asset, get it, and use it here. And I do that still quite often. plenty of routes from the past. Plenty of stuff to check out. Yeah? Haven't read the chat at all. Completely forgot about it again. There we go. I'm pretty sure that when Semte is done, the public will be satisfied. No, there's absolutely someone who's not going to be satisfied. There always is. But at some point, you have to also understand, like, okay, where do I draw the limit? Whose feedback do I consider valid and whose do I ignore? Now, obviously, some egregious bullshit that's just like over the top is not something that you're gonna be, actually spending time doing. It might be a good idea on its own, but not really worth for the project that you were doing, for example, right? Or if it's a big change to the project that you've just finished, you will be kind of um, dissatisfied with the fact that, oh, now you would have to rework all of this and that to implement this little change here, and you'll just skip on it, right? You will not act on that change. Feedback is definitely good, but you also need to know what is too much. You need to be able to draw the limit, basically. Also, placing pieces of magnets is driving me mad. Anyways, grocery delivery coming, so be right back. Okay. Yeah, that is a pet peeve of mine as well. Hello, Monkey, welcome. You get that box of 2000 hertz I sent you. I think someone had to sign for it. Excuse me, the junction leader was just minding his own business. But people who constantly emphasize that everything should be compatible with their preferred Trainz version, content creators should cater to them no matter what. Yeah. That said, I clearly need to improve the performance of my assets overall. Yeah. There is obviously valid feedback, valid criticism, and you will find some good opinions and some good tips and tricks between all of it, right? You just need to know what is too much, when to draw the line. But it's absolutely possible that sometimes someone will come in with a completely egregious bullshit that you have ever seen in your entire life, and yet you will read through it and you will be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense, that's good, right? Because they could criticize or feedback the fuck out of you, but they could, in all of that, strike few points that are true, that hit you in some kind of way than the rest of stuff does, right? So even bad feedback can contain good feedback in some cases. You just really need to be able to filter it out and, you know, figure out what is good, what is bad. But at that point, that's on you more than anything else, right? Part of the problem with catering for the public is that often the public doesn't know what it wants. Yes. That's one of the reasons it can happen that something entirely different is an expected hit. Yep. We are literally building the most detailed route ever. What more people? I wouldn't call it the most detailed route ever. That's a stretch, Hans. I absolutely would not call Central Europe the most detailed route ever. No. The most detailed routes ever are small model layouts that can cram a lot of work, a lot of details into small areas and look absolutely stunning. You can't do that on a big route because you will kill the performance, you know. It's not gonna work out on a big route. As much as you want it to, it's just not going to. Yeah? And that's the thing that Central Europe is fighting with as well. Because, like, sure, we have a lot of this and that and bullshit left and right, I'm gonna call it. But, there's a limit to how much you can actually do. Yeah. It's definitely not going to be the most detailed route ever, but it's going to be one of the most detailed routes ever. That is something you can say. And I know it doesn't look like it right now with Germany and stuff like that I've been streaming, lacking details and being pretty barren. And that's okay. Because I've explained it several times already, but yeah. It's still in development phase and I don't want to focus on the details until I have the whole route built. I know the general performance of the areas and the stuff that is there that I work with, you know, before putting in the details because I want to keep the performance good. That is something that needs to be done, that needs to happen, right? Because there's only so much lag that you can endure before the entire experience becomes bad. And it's a constant fight in this game, right? Because content is, user created and it's down to them to make it performance friendly, right? There's only so much N3V can actually do. That's why, every time creating your own assets is just the better option. But if you're not an asset creator, you have to rely on the others. And then you have to figure out, okay, what constitutes a good asset? What constitutes a bad asset? You have to go out of your way, figure it out, read through the outdated old wiki pages and figure out every single little tidbit of this and that to get an idea of what is what. Yeah. It's getting cold in my room. I need to close the window. God damn it. There we go. Okay. Let me rephrase it. Most detailed route on this scale. We'll see. When I started creating my buildings, I found some old wiki saying that a scenery asset should have no more than 150 trees, and a steam engine no more than about 1000. Yeah, the 1000 is old, but the scenery asset is still relatively true. I mean, obviously, you can go for more, right? There's that. Like, you can absolutely go for more, but you have to keep in mind the performance of it all, still, right? LODs and all the all the stuff. There's a lot to it all. One thing I do have to say is that I absolutely adore creating small routes. Because everyone always tries to go for a big, massive route that just gets out of their scope, and they never finish it. And then they abandon it. And then they are demotivated that they've never finished, this or that. It's very rare for people to just, hop into the game and, actually finish a big route, right? For majority, it's not feasible. It's not good. So I kind of am in that group. Like, I cannot at all handle big routes. I have a lot of trouble working with that. Now, I know in hindsight it looks pretty stupid of me to say that, considering the fact that I've made Central Europe Mini and Central Europe Project, the big one, both of which have hundreds of kilometers of tracks, different countries, and stuff like that. But I still fall in the category. I like to build smaller routes because I know there's a higher chance of me finishing them. And I specifically like making ideas that haven't really been done before. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. I don't really know. I haven't found any evidence of their existence. But yeah, small and unique, then is my type of tea. Why tea? Because I don't drink coffee. Ultra mega route. Yeah, UMR. 48 on the bridges. A50, there we go. And another thing regarding route creation is that don't be afraid to experiment. Keep it nice, varied, unique. Maybe you'll come up with some ideas that you didn't even think were possible. There is something nice when you're just making something on your own. That peaceful feeling, no stress, no need to hurry with anything. Like right now, as I'm just going around painting the smooth curves of the tracks. There's no need to rush. Just following the rails as they twist and turn through the barren terrain. Feels kinda relaxing, I guess. But yeah, that's the track network for this island. Kinda like it. I think I'm gonna end the stream here now. I have stuff to take care of and quite happy with the progress here. I don't want to overdo it, obviously. Burning out is not good, especially not on something that you like, you enjoy working on. Don't overdo it. Keep it nice, keep it steady, and hey, if you keep your motivation going, keep your creativity going. And as a result, you will come up with something that's nice, unique, and fun. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, morning, evening, night, afternoon, whatever, whenever, wherever you like. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Good job. Burning out is not good. Nope, burning in is much better. Thank you, Eagle. Yeah, see you guys next time. Bye bye.